All right. This is scary, but this is me starting. I've been putting it off for a long time. It's been a few years now. And so I think I need to just start talking. Um, Let me straighten out the camera. Nothing's right. Nothing's right. I feel uncomfortable. I feel ugly. That's it even feels uncomfortable to be a man to say I feel ugly right now. But Um, I feel like I've gone long enough without saying anything, without just putting everything out there. And I don't know how. It's a lot of fear, it's a lot of anxiety, it's a lot of internal conflict that makes me not want to do this. Like putting this, see, like look at this. I can't leave the camera alone because I feel like ain't nothing right. Like I'm looking all in my background to see, what can people judge me on? And it's like, man, just forget it. Just let people judge you. People are going to judge no matter what. I'm going to just start talking. I'm going to just start speaking my piece. And this is one female, I forget her name. She a beautiful chocolate thing with blue eyes. She was born with blue eyes. Her mother was born with one blue eye. And she does like makeup. And I think that's kind of dope. So I don't do makeup, but I can line myself up, and I think it's gonna be weird trying to line myself up with a phone. But like I just man, all my insecurities kicking in. Like how bummy I look right now. I'm looking at how the camera is recording every imperfection in my skin, every bit of acne, every pore, every gray hair, everything, and it's uncomfortable. And then with this ring light, I look like a vampire at the eyeballs, but a homeless guy everywhere. It's just it's just so much stuff, man. And people like to say things like, "Oh, just be yourself, just be you." I'm gonna just do whatever I feel like doing, but it's really uncomfortable, man, putting yourself out there because we know how much people judge. We know how much people make other people feel like crap just for being normal. We know how hard it is being real with ourselves, let alone being real honest with strangers. It's difficult to do. Like it's a simple thing to do, but it's not easy. But oh, let's make this video about insecurities because that's the main thing that I'm thinking about right now is insecurities, and that's one of the things that men don't get to talk about often. We don't get to speak about our insecurities because every mention of any bit of weakness, people use it, and we fear that. We fear giving any enemy the blueprints to say, "Hey, here, this is where I'm vulnerable. Come take advantage of it. Let me expose myself to you. Let me expose a vulnerability and let you come attack." It's like the government saying, "Hey, we're really weak in our telecom system, so attack us here." That's kind of what I'm doing. And that's kind of what men fear. We don't want to say, "Hey, I'm really insecure about A, B, and C," because not only will other men attack that, but even the women will attack it. And it's painful and it's scary and it sucks. It really sucks, man. It sucks to soften in a world that raises you to be hard and tough all the time. And it's hard to get that across to our women. Other guys know, but guys just use it as, "Oh yeah, well this hurt all us guys, so I'm gonna use that as an advantage to climb on top of you to boost myself up." Very few women that even pretend to care or seem like they care. There's a few, like this is one woman, Roma. I think her name is Roma Army or something like that on YouTube. Um, super cool chick, man. She really advocates for men, man. I really dig her, and I'm happy that she exists. And it's a black woman too that does it. I forget her name, but she always comes on the video and say it needs to be said, and I'll be the bitch to say it. And like she's cool as hell, man, beautiful, and she really seems like she get it. Like I don't know, like maybe she got a lot of guy friends or a bunch of brothers or something that really let it out in front of her because she really seems like she understand, man. Like I don't know, she's amazing. In general, what those two women put out there, men don't get to experience on a regular basis. It's usually really uncomfortable trying to speak to the women in our lives, whether it's a family member or a significant other. It's hard. Men are usually supposed to be the ones, I ain't gonna say supposed to be, are looked at as being the ones that are uh, gonna get everything together. Everything's better when we're here. Everything's gonna be put in place. We're the decision makers, we're the strength and the muscle to make things happen. But it's hard. And to be real with you, not all of us fit into that category to even be able to do that. I think we struggle the most. And I say we because I'm one of those guys that don't really fit into that macho, chest beating bravado. It's rougher because it's like a never ending race and you never keep up. And it sucks. One of my insecurities, facial hair. Since I was young, I never really had facial hair. The men in my family don't really have a lot of facial hair. I remember back when I was in my late teens, early 20s, like I didn't even have this, like a full goatee. I just had a thin mustache and a few hairs on my chin, and I started to use Rogaine. I went out to Walgreens or Jewel or one of them, and I bought Rogaine. It was in a little, like the eyedropper or the eardropper. It looked like that, and I just squeezed the Rogaine just right here because back then having a beard wasn't cool. You know what I mean? Like beards, the closest thing to a beard being cool was like back in the '90s when John B was out with the chin strap beard, and even that, like it wasn't super popular. It was popular, but not super popular. It was a goatee or a baby face. That was it. And I naturally didn't have a whole lot of facial hair, so I had the baby face. I thought I was winning. Then trends change and beards kick in. Like, well, back then the goatee was in, so I'm like, okay, well, let me try to grow more of a goatee, and I got that, and that is the only reason why I have this much facial hair. That's it. If it was just left to my genetics, you wouldn't see this. You wouldn't see it. And that's the thing that I know other men are insecure about because we're insecure about it from being kids. When you see older men with facial hair and you're like, man, I wish I had that. And I thought I was doing okay with a goatee for years. And then here come 2020 or 20, no, I want to say maybe back in 2017, something like that. All of a sudden beards is in, like full grandpa, homeless guy at the back of the bus, thick beards. That's in? Are you serious? And I I didn't know what to do with that. I had no idea. I'm like, and then at first I'm like, it was just, you know what? I thought about it the same way as I looked at the sponge curl. I hated the sponge curl when it first came. I mean, I hated the sponge curl when it first came out. And here, let me move this back a little bit. But yeah, I hated the sponge curl when it first came out. I thought it looked messy. And of course, I'm speaking from age because in my generation, we were always clean cut. Like back in my day, you was waving. You was waving or you wasn't doing nothing. Like back in the day, the dudes that had the long hair, like it became a thing, like Bone Thugs and Harmony. They made having long hair cool again. You know, having braids or a big old fro or anything of the sort. You know, but then the waves start kicking in again, and nobody cared about long hair. You had to have waves, and luckily I had waves, so I was in the trend. I was in the in crowd. I felt good. I felt like I fit in. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how you want to fit in but stand out and be different at the same time. It's crazy. And so I had the low season with the waves taper. You know what I mean? And I had the little goatee. I thought I was doing it. Then the beard kick in, and no, the sponge curl, then the beard. And I'm like, man, sponge curl make you look homeless, man. You look all like why you intentionally look all matted and shit. Like it's lint all in your hair, and like you literally take a sponge. Whose idea was that? And just whose idea was that? Whose man's is this? But like anything, when it becomes a trend, you start dealing with um, what's it called? FOMO, fear of missing out, and that's what I felt like fear of missing out. And but I didn't feel it hard until the beers kicked in, and dudes are looking like Santa Claus before he got old, and I'm like, I can't grow that. I don't. What am I supposed to do? You know what I did? I'm all in the Walgreens line buying some more damn Rogaine. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, if it worked back when I was 21 to help me get a goatee, well, to help me get a beer. And that's how all this stuff kicked in. But now my face break out every time because just, I don't know, this hair just, it makes it easier for my face to break out now. It's uncomfortable. Oh, oh, that's different. I don't think it's supposed to do that. I shouldn't even cut this video up either. I should just let it show with all the mistakes and all. Now I'm blue. All right, fuck it, I'm blue. Yeah. So anyway, I got insecure about facial hair again, and and it's crazy because I ain't even really want it that bad. I just wanted to wear the thing that made me look cool to the women that I felt were attractive. It's kind of like back in the day when I remember I used to hate Coogee sweaters, but when I got to high school, all of a sudden I liked them because everybody was rocking them. Coogee sweaters was the thing to have. Like before then, I always thought Coogee sweaters looked disgusting. They always made me think of Freddy Krueger skin. You know what I mean? Like it looked like they either they reminded me too much of Bill Cosby, or you look like Freddy Krueger skin, like your skin is peeling or something. Like it looked disgusting. But when I get to high school, and now they rocking all these different color Coogee sweaters. They got the matching hat, and then they rocking Timberlands to with the matching color to the sweat. I'm like, well, maybe Coogee sweaters ain't so bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how that fear of missing out get to kicking in, making you want some stuff that a second ago you hated. And so yeah, I just eventually became insecure about facial hair. That's one of my insecurities, and I have a lot of them. And a lot of people do, but a lot of people lie and try to act like they don't. I just like to expose myself because I know 100% without doubt there's another me out there. There's a female version of me. There's another male version of me. There's a short version of me, a tall version, a light skinned version. There's someone else out there that's thinking just like me. Like I'd rather expose myself to be a light to others that wish they heard someone say the things that they're thinking. Like right now, I'm insecure about how I'm speaking. I'm thinking about how I'm pronouncing my words and how my mouth is moving and how it's gonna look on the video. And it's crazy, man, how insecurities just get to kicking you in the balls, And I think it's okay to admit it. I think it's okay to admit it. It's a good first step to progress because eventually, for me, admitting to myself that I'm afraid, admitting to myself that I'm insecure, I somehow feel stronger versus when I hold it to myself, I feel weak. I feel like I'm fading versus exposing myself. I don't know. I just feel strong. I feel like can be held against me because I'm every embarrassing thing that people could hold against me, I'm actually willing to talk about openly. But I actually want to have a discussion about it. Like I'm not cool with people saying, "Oh yeah, you a bitch, you a whole nigga." You know how black men talk to each other and try to belittle each other and make other black men feel less of a black man. I like being a guy to say, "Yeah, yeah, I'm a pussy. I'm a whole nigga. I'm a bitch." I feel uncomfortable saying saying those curse words. um, but I like saying, yeah, I am afraid. Like I'm afraid to walk through an alley in the middle of the night. I'm afraid to be in neighborhoods I'm not familiar with. I'm afraid of us. Like that's one thing we don't like to admit, but us black men, I'm only saying black men because I'm a black man. White dudes might feel the exact same way. Asian dudes might feel the same way. I don't know. I ain't grow up with them. I grew up with black folks. And it's this little tense up you do when you get another male walk in a room. It's like y'all kind of size each other real, real smooth. Like, yeah, I think I'd take that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He ain't shit. His shoes is nice, but his outfit is whack. We sizing them up trying to see what's what. And maybe that's an evolutionary thing, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a part of peacocking and seeing who's the most fit for the mate. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But that's one of them things that I deal with, like tensing up when I see another black man come. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. A lot of times I don't feel like I'm in the presence of a man that's gonna be like, "Hey man, how's it going? You alright? You cool? That's what's up, man. It's good to see you doing good." I feel like another black man is looking at me like, "Yo, bitch ass, I hit you in your face right now, nigga. I kill your ass just for being a bitch." You know what I'm saying? Like that's the stuff I feel and think when I'm around certain personalities, and people think I'm scared to be around other men. It's like, nah, it's that's not the fear. It's more of I don't know what to call it, but it ain't necessarily fear. It's like I don't want to deal with that. Like I don't agree with that way of living. I don't agree with being that kind of person, and I don't want to be around it. It's kind of like being around like hood chicks, like hood niggas, hood. Let me stop saying it. Hood females, hood dudes. I don't like being around them that much. Like even though they beneficial, you know what I'm saying? like they're entertaining, they funny, they wild. The women, some hood women, damn, they fine. They they got the perfect body, man. They are great, but the way they carry themselves, the way they talk, the way they behave, it's like, nah, man, I ain't feeling that. And I feel the same way about guys in a lot of ways. It's not the fear, it's just that you carry yourself in a way that's just not pleasant to be around. You know what I'm saying? You always got to beat your chest. I don't want to deal with that shit. I'd rather just let you do you way over there, and I do me. I know I was supposed to be doing this the whole time, lining myself up, but I guess you can see when I get to talking, I get really distracted. I gotta be careful because every time I touch my eyebrows, I end up looking like a lesbian. Yeah, you know, I'm single and I want to attract the right kind of mate. You know what I mean? So anyway, I like talking about my insecurities because it does make me feel stronger. I don't want any more excuses not to get on here and say what I think need to be said, and really that's what I'm working up to. It's just one person I have conversations with. Well, I have conversations with different people throughout time, and whether it's through text message or a voice call, a video call, and the conversation gets so interesting. And I just wish that in that moment, like the whole conversation was recorded, so I can post it to YouTube and open up a discussion for everyone to have. It'll be great to have a panel where everybody just get their feelings out about this particular subject, whatever that subject is. I don't want to use the excuse of I'm not ready anymore. I don't want to use my excuse or lean on my excuse of not feeling handsome, feeling like as soon as I post my face, I'm going to have a whole bunch of people in the comments telling me how ugly I am and how gay I look, or just whatever it is to try to tear me down. You know what I mean? It's frightful. Um, so I just figured just accept my moment where I feel ugly, and I feel ugly in this moment. I feel like I'm a little bit better. I'm straightening out my lining a little bit. I just it's. I mean, it ain't perfect, but and I'm a funny looking dude. I can take that. But that shouldn't deter me from getting my heart out there because I got something to say. Um, More insecurities. Height. I'm 6 feet. I got a little brother. My little brother, he's like 18. He's like 6'2". And it's uncomfortable looking up to the little. Why is it the little brother always be bigger than the big brother? Like, where did that come from? How that be happening? You know what I'm saying? And that's an insecurity because that's the thing for us, man. We know ladies like tall men. We know other men like tall men because you're either someone to fear or someone to admire when you're taller. You know what I mean? You could be butt ugly, knuckles dragging, just hideous, but if you're tall, it makes you look a little better, it seems. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it gives you that little boost of confidence. And you get that boost of confidence because height is admirable, you know. Weight. Like right now, I weigh 240, 245 maybe. And I'm pudgy, man. I got a lot of belly and my arms jiggle, my man boobs jiggle when I'm driving down the street and I'm hitting bumps. And it gets uncomfortable. So I wish I would lose weight, but then there's also the stress of life that keeps me eating the way I do. That doesn't make it easy for me to lose weight. Um, oh, penis size. I'm insecure about my penis size, and that's a hard one that I never hear guys talking about. And I talk about it all the time with all types of women. Penis size, stamina, even like sex is whack with me. It is whack because unfortunately, man, I'm the type that needs a little bit of a emotional connection. Um, if not, it's a bunch of insecurities that kick in because I feel like sex is a job, man. Sex is just a way to stroke my own ego. Did I say ego? Ego. And so it doesn't feel like it's an enjoyable thing between two people that care about each other or just enjoy each other in general. It feels like this is my time to prove to you that I can blow your back out. Like there's nothing really expected of you being a woman but to lay there, holler and scream, come a whole bunch of times so you can go tell your friends and family what I did to you. And I can have an ego stroke, like a verbal blowjob to say I laid it down when it really don't count for nothing in the end. How many women can say that they married the best that they ever had? Even if like I said, I'm insecure about my penis size. Like it ain't tiny, but it ain't huge. For the women that's in a committed relationship, how many of y'all are really with the biggest dudes you ever had? How many of y'all are with the best sex you ever had? I ain't talking about you still holding on to the dude and he over here fucking everybody else. I'm talking you in a committed relationship. It's really you and him. Like some of y'all can cherry pick yourselves and say, yeah, I got that, but most of y'all can't. And it's no shade because us guys are the same way. We want a female that looks a certain way. We want the finest woman with the best body. But fellas, be honest. To that chick that was the finest you ever had. I mean bad. To the one that had the best body you ever had. Where's she at now? You with her? Did you marry her? Are you even in a long term relationship with her? Don't be like the ladies in cherry pick. Like, be honest with that shit. Like, yeah, we chase what look good, but in the end, though, do we even end up with them people? And I ain't talking about you pulled out too late, so now that's your baby mama. But I'm talking like in a relationship where y'all really with each other, and that gets to me. That gets in my head a lot when it comes to sex. Like, yeah, I want to be super good at sex. I want to bust your back wide open. But then what? Right? Once I'm able to stroke my own ego by stroking you enough for you to get to bragging about me, then what? Are we going to work on us then? Probably not. But I get the interest in it because what's the alternative? Be a boring ass person with whack ass sex. Yeah, you might be good at trying to hold a relationship together, but you ain't fuckable. You're not interesting. You're boring. You're not the first pick. So I get it, you know. So that's the insecurity of mine that I suck in bed, and I want to be better, but I'm also afraid to be better because I feel like that'll change how I think when it comes to treating women and being in relationships. Yeah, I can probably get better, but that'll change how I feel. You know how Lil Wayne was talking about that post nut clarity. Um, Actually, a lot of people were saying. I don't know if he was first to say it, but we all say it. Like after you nut, when you in that state of mind, after you nut, like that person ain't cute no more. Like they repulse you now. Like as soon as they reach out to touch you for a hug, it's like it makes your skin crawl. And I don't want to be that guy. But that guy is good in bed, right? But that guy don't want to stay. He just want to Like he hella in love, so he think when he horny. But soon as he nut, it's weird how it just shuts off like a light switch. And I don't want to be that guy. Like I'd rather be whack as hell in bed and be really good at communicating to the point we figure out what works for us in bed. I'd rather be that guy. But that guy just ain't as sexy. He ain't as appealing. That guy got a dad bod. He has lower testosterone, so his belly is getting big. He got man boobs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he pay bills, but he like to eat a lot. Yeah, he's good at communicating, but you probably gonna get a good 20 minutes out of him, and he need a nap. you know, so um, yeah, I'm insecure when it comes to the bedroom, and plus I have a chip on my shoulder because I always hated that like so much is expected of me in the bedroom versus the women. They just get to lay there and be cute, try to keep their hair together. You know what I mean? I'm up here sweating my butt off, catching Charlie horses, and like my feet cramping up and my abs getting all tight. And you just laying there taking it. You know what I mean? You want round two and three and four, and I'm tired as hell. Like you ain't tired because you ain't did shit. You haven't done any work. You know, and I think that's part of like where my attraction for older women kick in because older women tend to be a little more assertive and they put in more effort, and I like that. They're more decisive versus women my age or younger. they they looking for me to do everything. They looking for me to wow them, to make them fall in love, not knowing that yeah, I can do that. But then after you fall in love, I'm being turned off by the second because you ain't doing nothing. I made you fall in love without you putting in any work. And now you feel like this love feeling that you have is natural, like it just happened. No, it didn't just happen. I made it happen. That's why it's usually easier for dudes to bounce on a relationship, especially after sex, than it is for ladies because we did all the work, you know. Now when we get attached, it has the reverse because we did all the work. We feel like we got a lot invested. So in those situations when y'all leave, we be toe up. We be toe up. But anyway, now I feel like I'm just rambling, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think still good subjects are gonna come out of this. Um my toes. I'm insecure about my toes. Toes all crooked, weird looking. Moms didn't want to buy me bigger shoes growing up, so I'd be if it didn't have a hole in it, I was gonna keep wearing them. That's how it was. And yeah, my toes all bunched up and stuff. I don't know if that was the cause. You know, some people say it's hereditary. I don't know. Who cares? You know? All I know is that my toes is crooked, and I'm insecure about it. That's it. Uh, so what else? I'm insecure about the hair on my butt. Like that hair is long as hell on my butt. I'm insecure about my butt in general, man. Cause like as I gained weight over the years, my butt got to jiggling more. And I've had a couple different women cup my ass and say like, I get it now. I get why guys like big butts, and I'm like, unhand my ass. You know what I'm saying? And they would actually say, like, I get why dudes like strippers with big booties, but as a dude, you don't want to hear that, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? When you just get through finish getting down with your lady and you got to make that naked walk to the bathroom and you feel your wet, sweaty ass jiggling like you at the end of a Nelly tip drill video. It feels super uncomfortable, man. Super uncomfortable. And you know she looking. You ain't gonna turn around because you know she looking at your ass shaking as you walk. And so, yeah, that's another insecurity, man. Having my mama's butt jiggling as I walk. Um, Strawberry skin. Like I since I hit puberty, I always had some type of acne on my face. You know, some blemish, whether it was from my skin being super oily or dirt from the job, the oil and dirt mixing from whatever job I had, and my face getting dirty, and I'm always putting my hands in my face, scratching, making it worse. And ingrown hairs, you know, a lot of us black men have issues with that. You know, when we line ourselves up, we got to be careful. We can't use a razor or it's going to drop the hair below the skin. When it grow out, it's going to make a bump. And then, of course, with that bump is going to be a dark spot, the hyperpigmentation. It's just, it's just so much, man. And on top of everything, you can't talk about it, you know, and be honest. Or so what? You ugly. You a dude. You supposed to be. And it's like, nah, nah, because you know that pretty ass dude, the pretty Ricky, pretty Tony, whichever pretty guy was in your neighborhood, he ain't got them problems. His skin always clear. You know what I'm saying? Whether he light skin, dark skin, line up always crispy, and you wish your skin was that clear. You wish your hairline was like his. You wish your 5 o'clock shadow looked as clean, as smooth, and not patchy like his. You know, but whatever. Again, this is me putting everything out there. And every second I'm thinking like, man, I should probably edit this but you know, maybe I shouldn't edit it. Maybe I should just put it all out there. Um Another insecurity, let me think. Oh, I can't fight. Like I didn't grow up fighting. People around me grew up fighting. Um a lot of people in my family grew up fighting, but a lot of people kept like the people that raised me because they grew up like that. They didn't necessarily want me to be that way. And I was the first on my mom's side. I was the first born. Period. On my pop's side, I was the first boy born, and I got like three older female cousins on my pop's side, but I was the first boy. Um, so it was like you know people was kind of like you know just make sure you don't turn out to be a thug, you know. And maybe they went a little too hard, and I grew up a little soft. Um, and I have struggles at 40 that some people may not have at this age because they had it at 18, you know. Um, but it's a lot of little it's a lot of little things in that I think need to be discussed because all those guys got that thing where you know we're supposed to be tough and stuff like that, and I was afraid to be the tough guy because the tough guys that I saw was always getting into some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like at school, that was always the guys that was getting suspended because they was fighting or they was getting into it with a teacher. Later on, that's the guy that the police got a handcuff sitting on the curb. And later on, that's the guy that's got mug shots up. You know what I mean? Um, I ain't want to be that. Like I feared becoming that guy more than I feared getting beat up or knocked out. You know what I mean? Like every man thinks about that. Nobody wants to get beat up or knocked out. But I feared more being that guy that was always in trouble, always in and out of jail for the sake of not being a punk, for the sake of standing up for his respect. Um, yeah, it's one of them things. Um, all right, I guess I should be talking my thoughts out instead of just thinking them to myself. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and stop this here.